Ghost Rider Hell on Wheels. And I have unfortunately spilled a bunch of water on this, so I kind of ruined my Epic collection here. Volume 1, 72 to 75, Marvel Spotlight 5 to 12, Ghost Rider 1 to 11, and Marvel Team Up number 15. Now this tells a story of a character who's a like stunt artist like Evil Ernie, and it's done by Gary Friedrich a lot in the beginning. And Ghost Rider has a situation where he like there's a guy dying in his like stunt outfit. He wants to save him and from dying from cancer or whatever. So Satan makes a deal with him to give him these. He's going to be his servant or whatnot, and he then like the guy dies anyway in like a car crash, and Satan's like, well, he didn't die of the thing, you know. He made the deal bad, of course, because he's the devil. And then he's on the run from the devil, who tries to hunt him down to try to get his soul throughout this entire thing. And his soul's only kept safe because of another gal in the motorcycle area. And he's protected just because she's so pure that he and her love for him is pure that it protects him. And there's some various like situations where it's like, the old guy comes back, and hunts his daughter down to try to sacrifice her to Satan. And then they get different deals of people trying to sacrifice her to Satan and Ghost Rider rescuing her over the course of this. Eventually they go out to like the Wild West, and you see like there's these like old school, like she's on an altar and putting this like chainmail bikini sort of thing. Very cheesecakey, very like, but it's fun, and the art's beautiful at the end of the day. This was done by Mike Plug and Jim Mooney. Very 70s. And Ghost Rider's fighting with his abilities, even though he does have that Satan element to him. And once they go out west, he's going to make this jump, and there's these Native American spirit guys who, of course, are tied in with Satan too. And they're going after Ghost Rider and the girl and all that over the course of things too, unknowingly. And this Native American gal eventually comes out of this, who's a witch sort of spirit lady who, like, of course, has also sold her soul to Satan. And then if Ghost Rider kind of rescues her out of that, as well as there's a witch woman rescues his woman as well, always being on the run. It's a very weird sort of setup because Ghost Rider's powers are from Satan, and yet he still has them. And you see now even she's going to get sacrificed at this point, the witch woman, to give herself to Satan, and she eventually gets out of it too. Now, Ghost Rider gets his own magazine for the first few issues here, and we're still continuing this plot on. And this is where we get introduced to Hellstrom, who's the son of Satan. And it actually ties back into Marvel Spotlight again, and Hellstrom gets his own series too, where he's fighting Satan and going after him. He's the son of Satan, but he doesn't want to be, and he wants to thwart Satan at the end of the day. So very interesting that Gary Friedrich seems to be very fixated on the Satan concept through Ghost Rider and the Son of Satan also. And Son of Satan has his own complete collection if you want to continue reading his story from there, from Hellstrom. And but otherwise, the two of them work together. And here's the Marvel Spotlight here. And they eventually kind of stop Satan and save the day. And Ghost Rider, it kind of splits off where like this guy has his own series of events, and Ghost Rider has his own series of events. So kind of a neat concept there through the Ghost Rider book and through the Marvel Spotlight book. After this, Gary Friedrich ends his run on the book, and Tony Isabella starts to take over, and Ghost Rider starts to get into different situations that are away from that like Satan deal over and over again. And he ends up at a destruction derby at one point. And the destruction derby guy he's a guy who's made a deal with the devil at that point, and he's got he's like wreaks havoc on Vegas like himself as he gets caught here and has to be removed from the whole situation, and then gets his due at the end of things. And then there's a couple more just stories here where you can see that he's fighting this like strange character right here. And it's a little more forgettable of concepts as it goes through Ghost Rider. Now that kind of ends, even Tony Isabella's deal ends, and you get this single issue where Ghost Rider and Hulk have their inevitable superhero battle / team up. That's a one issue, and George Perez actually does, or I'm sorry, I guess George Perez was not on this. Sal Buscema does this single issue. Was George Perez on one of these issues? I swear he was. I swear he was, my friends. But you can see my water damage makes it hard to turn the pages, which is making this review a little bit difficult. So sorry about that. But I did enjoy this. It was pretty fast pace of a read overall. Jim Mooney. Maybe I'm wrong about George Perez being in this book. So the art's fun House Marvel style the whole way through. It's very bright colors, very cool, dynamic, very 70s looking. And I like that the whole way through. The going up against Satan and having the girl on the altar being sacrificed over and over and over again was a little bit much. I mean, it worked the first time. The second time it was like, okay. The third time it was like, ugh, okay, please do something else on the story. And by the time they got to do something else in the story, the destruction to everything was kind of fun too. And then the Hulk issue was a nice one-shot kind of team-up sort of thing that just felt like a filler issue a little bit. So overall, it was worth the read. It's good, not great, I'd say at the end of the day. And so I'll call it a 7.5 out of 10. And yes, this is the Ghost Rider First Epic Collection. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.